How's it going, everybody? Eugene Hutton with Where the Wild Things Are on YouTube, King Gene 88 on TikTok, and Hutton Legacy Lambs LLC on Facebook. And today I'm coming at you with one of my longer opinions. It's going to be a longer video. I hope you guys can tune in, and I hope that you guys will comment and let me know what you think. Please like, share, subscribe, and follow on TikTok. So today. Today we're gonna talk about something that I've been talking about quite a bit recently in my shorts, and it's something that I deal with daily, sometimes minute by minute. And so today we're gonna talk about my friend depression. I know that sounds like a silly name, but whenever you know somebody so long, eventually they either become your friend or your enemy. And we're gonna just say he's my friend, I guess. All right, so here we go. What is depression? Well, let's not even go there. Let me tell you about who I am, a little bit of my backstory, and why I have authority to speak on this subject. Um, I grew up in foster care from the time that I was 2 years old up until I was 12 years old when I got adopted, and then I graduated in that final home. And I was adopted by a woman who had a big heart. She gave me a home. She was by herself, so there wasn't a lot of male influence, and that was hard to deal with. And my biological mother was, in fact, still around, and she was doing her best, and so that was hard to deal with as well. So there was a lot of conflicting emotions. There was a lot of childhood guilt. Um, there were some decisions that I made in that process that I carried with me and still carry with me. Um, and those play a part in in my depression, in my chronic clinical depression, my anxiety, my PTSD, my bipolar, my insomnia, and sometimes just because, like I said, all of that, I'm just a straight up jerk. So I was adopted when I was 12. And like I said, I carried a lot of guilt prior to that, prior to my adoption. I suffered a lot of abuse at a lot of hands, some hands that were very familiar, some that weren't. There was a lot of bad situations. If there's an abuse out there, I suffered it. And that is something that I still deal with and carry with me, especially now that I have young children and I understand the ages at certain points. I understand the ages that certain things happen in my life, and the realization of how young I actually was and how small I was and how vulnerable I was. Um, excuse me. That's kind of hard to deal with because I can't imagine somebody not protecting a child. And as a father, I would do anything. I would do anything. I would kill for my kids. I would die for my kids. I would do anything. And I think as parents, most of us would probably agree that we would do anything. And so the realization that that stuff happened to me is something that I carry with me still. It's a chip. It's a burden. It's something that it's hard to let go of. That I look at my kids and I do the best that I can. And I know you guys do as well. You know, I know everybody does, and my mom was as well. And you know, sometimes things happen, but they happened, and I still carry them around. And so the realization that that happened and that I was not protected because it wasn't a one-time thing. It wasn't a one-time thing, and so it was a continuous thing by a multitude of people. And when I look at my kids and I think that that was allowed to happen, it breaks my heart. It really does. It breaks my heart. And that's just a little bit of the part that I'm going to tell you as far as that goes, because it's a lot, and that could be an entire video in itself. But all that stuff, all that abuse, all that neglect, it plays a part in my clinical depression to this day. And maybe, just maybe, it does for y'all as well. I don't know your story, but I'll bet you somebody's got a story like mine. And it's okay, guys. It's okay. You know, we all have a past. We all have a past. And some things we've done to ourselves. Let's be honest. Some things that we deal with today as adults or younger, you know, as the people we are today, the things we deal with are sometimes self-inflicted from the past. Let's be honest. We've made bad decisions and we've justified them or we've cloaked them in woe is me. I went through this abuse, I went through that abuse, and so I made this decision, and now we're living with it. That doesn't mean that it's not valid. That doesn't mean that it doesn't play a part in your mental health, guys. It really does. It really does. Guilt is a huge part of depression. Guilt is a huge part of depression because whenever you're depressed, all you're thinking about is how you could have done better, how you could have done better, or at least me, I'm sorry, what we could have done differently. If I'd have done this, would I feel like this? If I'd have done that, would this be happening? Who would I be had I done different? That's okay, guys. That's okay. That's okay. Depression is okay to an extent. That's why this video is titled My Friend Depression. I have to deal with it. It's something that I can't control. I know some people may have differing opinions on that, but I have serious chronic depression, anxiety, PTSD. There's war trauma. There's childhood trauma. There's a lot of trauma, and it manifests into bad days like today. And so instead of hiding in myself today, I decided to do this. And maybe you guys don't want to watch this. Maybe you won't get it, but maybe somebody will. Because you know what? It's okay to be vulnerable. I have a friend on Facebook. He has a page called Leading with Vulnerability. And man, that is just awesome. And he's a super warrior. He's a super warrior. So it's okay, guys. It's okay to be vulnerable. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What is depression? The definition of depression is a mental health disorder characterized by persistently depressed mood or loss of interest in activities causing significant impairment in daily life. Possible causes include a combination of biological, psychological, and social sources of distress. Increasingly, research suggests these factors may cause changes in brain function, including altered activity of certain neural circuits in the brain. All right, so there we go. That was the definition of depression. But what is it? What is depression? What is it to you? What is it to me? Let's talk about it, because this is how I describe it. Excuse me. I describe it. I know that I'm going to have a bad day whenever I wake up fighting mad. And fighting mad is like literally whenever you just want to take on whatever's in front of you. And for me, it's the sun, because in addition to my depression, anxiety, PTSD, I suffer from extreme insomnia. So by the time I even start maybe kind of feeling tired, here comes Bob. All right, Bob is coming up. He's doing his job. The roosters are doing their job. The lambs are starting to scream, and I'm sitting here anxious and worked up. And man, I call it getting mad at the sun for coming out. And that's another kind of feeling, guys. And if you guys have ever felt that, then you know what I'm saying. And that's a big part of depression. Now, I know it doesn't sound like it, because it sounds like just anger. It sounds like just rage and stuff. And that is true. That is very true. But depression is a complex combination of chemical imbalances and emotional strains, and the overt result that those around us usually see is anger. It's usually anger. So a lot of people who have chronic depression will sometimes be characterized by those around them as extremely angry, or touchy or irritable or whatever. They're an asshole. I am sometimes. Okay. But what can we do about this, guys? Like, how do we deal with this on a daily basis? Because if you're like me, I'm making this video for a couple reasons. One, I'm hoping to help somebody, but I am also hoping to help myself. And by making this and saying this out loud, putting it out to the world, it makes me accountable and transparent. So whenever I try to work on my depression, work on my anxiety, work on my anger issues, my irritability, if I make that transparent, and if I make that out in the world, then I have to be accountable to myself, because there's others that are going to hold me accountable as well. And so I feel like that's a big part of recovery or getting better or whatever it is whenever it comes to chronic depression, anxiety, PTSD, and traumatic mental issues. Listen, guys, if you don't if you don't tell somebody about it, then nobody's going to know. And then you're going to find a way to justify not doing what you got to do to make yourself better. And we've got to be better, right? As a father, that's why I'm doing this. That's why I struggle every day to make myself better, because I don't want my kids to be afraid of me. I was afraid of my parents and the adult figures in my life up until I got adopted, obviously. And I was literally afraid of the people who were feeding me, who were supposed to be taking care of me. And that's another kind of feeling as a child. You never want to be afraid of your parents. And as a parent, you definitely don't ever want to have the feeling that your kids are afraid of you, because man, that's not what we want, guys. That's not what we want. If we want to change the cycle, if we want to break the chain of the things that I went through, of the things that you went through maybe are similar, we can't necessarily do that ourselves at our point in our lives. We can change, and that's what I'm working on. But we can break that cycle through our legacy, okay? Through our children. We can break it through our children if we raise them right, if we love them right, if we do the right things, if we do all those things that we as children always hoped for, always wanted, always looked out in the periphery, and we saw other kids and we felt like they had the perfect lives or whatever. They didn't. They didn't. It was just different and maybe a little bit better than ours. But listen, if we want to make a change in the world, we have to start at home, and we have to start with our babies. All right. We have to start with our babies, because if you raise a child up in the way it should go, they will not depart from that. Okay. That's what the good book says. And you know what? It's true. It's true. We only got so much time with them, guys. Just a little bit of time. Just a little bit of time. And in that time, we can either repeat the cycle and make them suffer as we do now with chronic depression, anxiety, all the things we've been talking about, or we can break that cycle. We can love them. We can nurture them. We can support their dreams and their passions. We can be there and make them feel like they are important and they are loved, and a child that is happy and loved will grow up into an adult that is content and hungry. They'll be hungry for success because they'll know that somebody cares. There's that saying, nobody cares, work harder. That's a cool saying. But how about somebody cares, work harder? My buddy on YouTube or Facebook said that. Yuma Barnett. He's a good guy, man. You guys should check out his stuff, Barnett Multimedia. All right. So listen, somebody cares, work harder. Happy children become content adults hungry for success because they understand that it works and they understand that somebody cares. And that's how we avoid depression in that. In theory, of course, this is my opinion. This is my opinion. And of course, what else? There's also other things as people. Like, let's get back to what we can do. What can we do about our depression? I know it sounds stupid, guys. I know it does. But listen, man, go outside, get fresh air. Um, I like to read. I like to listen to audiobooks. I think I've plugged it before, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. It's just a great book. It's about a shepherd. It's about a kid who just, is finding his way in life and stuff. And it's just one that I can go back to and I can escape. And that's the point. Like, whenever you're in that mindset of you just want to block the world out, sometimes the best thing we can do is let a little bit of the world in. Okay, guys? And walk around. Like, I do a lot of shed hunting. For those that don't know, it's antler hunting. Elk and deer, they shed their antlers once a year. So get out in the mountains. It keeps me physical. It burns off stress. And just, it's a way to be alone but also productive. Deep thinking. Deep thinking is important, yeah. When we're depressed, we have a tendency to sit around. We really do. Or we put a TV on or whatever and just zone out and hope that nobody breathes around us. Um, but if you're gonna be in that position anyway, maybe it's time to take a little bit of stock of why we're there. Okay? Look, I understand depression is uncontrollable. I really, really do. And I'm not saying that y'all are silly or anything for not trying stuff. All I'm saying is that some of the silly stuff, it does help, guys. It really does. So let's try that. And, proper relaxation. We tend to call relaxation sitting on the couch and watching TV and stuff like that. And here I am on YouTube making a video. So maybe it's a little hypocritical. But while you're there, if you're sitting here watching this, proper relaxation. Maybe go outside, enjoy the sun, listen to the birds, whatever, stuff like that. And there's one more thing. There is one more thing that will really, really help with your depression. Whenever you guys start feeling better, like, as we all go through cycles, we go through cycles of up and down and sideways, and it's not fair to those around us, for one. So whenever you're starting to feel better, the best thing that you can do to help your depression progress into a different direction is to apologize. Guys, you got to. Okay, maybe you live alone. Maybe it's just your cat. Maybe he suffered from you're not, as active with him or whatever that day because of what you're going through. But if you're like me and you have a family and you suffer from deep chronic depression, like just mm, that bad stuff, you tend to say things, do things, or isolate yourself and make your family feel like they can't be around you because they're afraid they're going to set you off or something like that. Or maybe you said something because you were irritable because they were just being normal. Listen, guys, apologize, okay? This is a big part of it. If you apologize and be transparent with your family, let them know what's going on. My family knows what's going on all the time. We even have code words for it. Like if I'm feeling a certain way when I wake up or whatever, like I try not to wait until it's too late. But if something happened, if you said something, if you did something that you're not proud of, let's not stew in it, guys, because that's just going to further the chronic clinical depression. That's going to make you feel worse about yourself. Apologize. Apologize, apologize. Let them know that you love them because they love you. Listen, guys, they love you. Otherwise, they wouldn't stick around. So apologize. Let's talk about are you wrong? Are you wrong for feeling depressed? Are we messed up? Are we fill in the blank? Listen, guys, these are your answers. These are your answers. Are we wrong? No, well, I don't know. But for the most part, if you're suffering from true clinical depression, then no, you're not wrong for feeling the way you do. Okay? It's uncontrollable and it's overwhelming, it's all encompassing, and I get it. Are we messed up? Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Depression doesn't usually just happen to, you know what I mean? So maybe a little bit. But these are answers that I can't answer these things for you guys. Like these are answers I have for myself, and these are answers that I'm working on for myself because it's ongoing. It's ongoing. I've waited too long in my life to really start seeking help and to really start making an effort to be better. I've waited too long, and I hope you guys are watching this, and it'll make you get on it now because that's the best time to start is now. Don't wait. Don't wait, guys, because it's really something that takes so much time. I'm still struggling daily, 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 minute, 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 minute. And it's been years now, years. And I know that sounds discouraging, guys, but every day is just a little bit better if I just keep working, the process. Like, if you don't do it, it's not going to work. But back to these answers, like, are we wrong? Are we messed up? All that stuff that are you? I don't know. But the key to finding these answers, guys, is accepting that maybe you have a problem. Man, it took me a long time. I was combat arms, like special forces and cavalry, and like a lot of shooting, a lot of tough guys, a lot of type A personalities, a lot of machismo, a lot of masculinity, and there was a lot of fear on my part. There was a lot of stigma about mental health. Some of it was fabricated, some of it was self fabricated, but it was there and it prevented me, or at least I justified it preventing me getting help way, way longer than it should have taken. So, guys, if you need it, if you think you have a problem, you want answers to the questions, are you messed up? Let's accept your position, okay? Whatever it is. Do you have a problem? Maybe. Maybe you do. I do. I have a lot of problems and I'm addressing them and I'm trying to do the best I can. I really am. So I've accepted that I have a mental health issue and I am seeking help and I am seeking recovery and I'm very open with my family and they helped me through it, and I love you guys very much for that. So if you guys think you have a problem, the first thing you can do to get better is to seek help. Okay, so please do it, and please don't wait like I did. All right, so in conclusion, I would just like to leave you guys with a little bit of motivation. Maybe I was a little bit rambly today. Maybe you guys get it because like there's just so many things that go with the emotions of today. I'm trying to put myself out there at a time when I'm extremely vulnerable. Like this is hard for me. This is very hard for me. But if I don't do something for myself, nobody will do it for me. Maybe this is a stupid way to do it. Maybe you guys think it's silly, but maybe somebody will see this and understand that it's okay. It's okay to go get help. Rise above the stigma. Whatever your stigma is, maybe it's a basketball team, maybe you're just real punchy and you're a cowboy, maybe you're a soldier, maybe you're a cop, whatever it is, guys. Whatever your stigma is that might be preventing you from seeking mental health services, it's not worth it. The stigma is not as strong as you are. Trust me. You're stronger than the stigma, I promise. So let's rise above the stigma, ask for help, be transparent. If you have a family, if you don't, whatever, be transparent. Let people know, at least the people close to you. Not everybody needs to know, obviously, but people that are in your daily orbit need to know about things you're going through. Because if you're going through them and then they just see the reactions and results that are usually something they don't deserve and usually something less than happiness and ideal behavior, let's be honest. If they understand what's going on, and they understand that you need to be alone, then they're going to help you through it a lot better. So let's be transparent. Love hard. Love hard. Love hard. Okay? Because the people around you that are helping you through this, once you decide to get help, it's a whole support system. They love you. That's why they're dealing with it. They may not understand it. They might think you're just crazy. No, they don't. They don't. They love you very much. And since they do, it's our job to love hard, love them back. And give yourself time, guys. Give yourself a little bit of time. This is not a magic pill thing. Okay? It took a lifetime of trauma, a lifetime of wars, or childhood abuse, neglect, traumatic behaviors, traumatic situations, car accident, whatever it was, guys, whatever it was that caused and contributed to our clinical chronic depression, PTSD, anxiety, insomnia, bipolar 1, 2, whatever it is you guys have, it's okay. But let's do something about it, okay? Let's do something about it. But remember, it took a lifetime to get here, so it's going to take just a little bit more time to get better. So give yourself credit for trying. Give yourself credit for seeking help. Give yourself credit for being you, because you're awesome, because you're trying. But give yourself time. Be productive. Find a way. Clinical depression has a way to get you in a dark corner in the couch or the bedroom or whatever, and maybe you just don't even listen to anything. Maybe you just stare at the ceiling. Let's be productive. For me, there's several things I do. Like I said, I do shed hunting. I have a lot of sheep that I have to deal with. I have a baby now. That helps. But as silly as it sounds, I still color. I have adult coloring books. They're very intricate. They force me to have extreme mental focus, and it takes me out of my own head. Okay, so be productive in some way, because then you're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to get up, you're going to do something, you're going to say, that wasn't that hard. And listen, guys, the time's going to pass anyway, so let's try to make it pass a little bit more peaceful, okay? Because depression is awful, it's not peaceful. But let's try to be productive in some way. Be kind. Be kind, guys. I know that's hard whenever we're going through, these issues. I know it's hard, but let's be kind, because those around us love us. They understand. As long as you're being transparent, they understand. So be kind to them, love them, and they will be kind and love them back. And remember that someone cares. Someone cares, so work harder, okay? If nobody else in your life, if it's just you watching this video with your cat, I care. Someone cares. Someone cares. And someone loves you. Okay, guys? So that's it. This is a longer video for me, so thanks for sticking with me. I believe that mental health awareness is incredibly important. I believe we should rise above the stigma. And I believe if you guys need help, that you need to go and get it, please, because it will make the quality of your life better. So please, if you need help, go get it. If you need help finding help, you can message me. I'll help you. All right. So I'm Eugene Hutton with Where the Wild Things Are on YouTube, King Gene 88 on TikTok, and Hutton Legacy Lambs LLC on Facebook. Thanks for staying where the wild things are.